You sit down to write that Instagram post, your fingers up to the keyboard, and then nothing. Blank screen, blinking cursor, your brain is spinning. What do I say? How do I explain what I do? Who am I talking to? What's even interesting? Etc., etc. Or maybe you're on the other side of things. Maybe instead of barely marketing yourself, maybe you are doing all the things. You're posting every day. You're showing up everywhere. It feels like you are just shouting into the void. Likes trickle in, but there's not really a lot of booking of calls going on. And you say, well, I must not be marketing enough. I need to do more. I am going to clear this up for you to make it super simple. The fact of the matter is that you don't need to do more marketing. You need mostly a clearer message and a plan. So if you have just felt your shoulders drop a little bit, good, because it is all about the quality, because quality beats quantity every single time. So stick with me on this episode of Soulpreneur Scaling Stories to the end, because I'm going to walk you through a 2-minute clarity exercise that you can do super quick right now that's going to make a huge difference. So let's dive into this a little bit more. Okay, so I see this with my clients all of the time. There's 2 camps, right? So camp 1 is you either avoid marketing because you genuinely just don't know what to say, or you put it till the back burner of everything, and then you're too tired to even think about it, right? You do all of your client work and you're like, yeah, that's good. I don't know. I have clients, like I can't anymore. So you sit down, maybe you do find a second, right? You sit down to create something and you're like, well, I do strategy and implementation and mindset work. And like, how do I explain what I do without sounding like I do everything for everyone? And so that's just too overwhelming, so you don't post. Or maybe you post something really vague that doesn't even sound like you because you feel like, oh, that's what I should be posting. Or camp 2, you are hustling. You make the time, you are posting, you're networking, you're trying every marketing idea, you're all over the place. But the results just don't match the energy you're pouring in. 2 opposite sides of the coin, but the same root issue, which is unclear messaging. So I'm going to tell you about one of my clients. We'll call her Misty. And that's where she was. So she created this really cool program for coaches. It was deep, it was transformational, and it was great. Like, obviously I loved it because I helped her create it. But every time she introduced herself as virtual assistant / business strategist. And then what happened was that people tuned out after virtual assistant, right? So they would ask her about like inbox management or general VA things. And she was like, well, why aren't people seeing me for what I truly am? And so because she was getting this almost like what she thought of as disrespect to people who just weren't seeing her, she started to dislike marketing. She started avoiding it. Or when she did it, she was attracting the wrong people. And then she got really stuck, and it really left her stuck without knowing what to do. So don't worry, we fixed it. I'll tell you a little bit more. So there is good news here, is that when your messaging is clear, you don't need to be everywhere. You don't need to post every day. It's like, think about your messaging like flipping on the light in a lighthouse. So instead of waving a flashlight around, hoping that somebody notices, you are the lighthouse guiding exactly the right people straight to you. When Misty and I worked on her messaging, right? I didn't tell her, go do this, go everywhere, do all the things, right? We got her crystal clear on the transformation that she creates. So something like, I help holistic coaches who are great at transforming their clients but struggle with their own business, create aligned sustainable growth through systems that work with their natural strengths. And once she started leaning with that, once she dropped the VA / this, when she got really clear on who she was and stepped into that, everything really started shifting for her. Same networking groups, same effort, but suddenly the right people were raising their hands and were excited to work with her, all because she clearly explained what she did. So she, with her messaging, she sold the transformation, not just the things that she was doing. So think about that with yourself as well. So it's not I manage your social media. It's I help you attract dream clients consistently without burning out on content creation. It's not I do operations. It's I help you to scale to 6 figures without working weekends. So one of the things, right, the first ones list tasks. The other ones demonstrate the change that you cause in somebody's life. So the thing that often comes up and that people think when I tell people this is that, well, if I get really specific, then I'm going to attract fewer people, right? And I get why you would think that. And at the same time, that's exactly the point. Because what happens is when you're trying to appeal to everyone, first of all, nobody sees you because you're not talking to anybody. You are not sticking out. When you are saying, I can do everything for everybody, you're not talking to anybody. And it also paralyzes and drains you, right? So it's like you either don't know what to say or you're saying so much, but it's not sticking, one. And two, it's not sustainable. But when you have really clear messaging, when you know who you're talking to, when you know what you do, when you know your transformation, when you know what your clients struggle with and exactly how you help, and not just what you do, but the transformation that you provide, everything gets easier. Content creation feels lighter because it's so much easier when you're very specific, right? And you're like, oh, I can write this in my sleep. Networking is natural because you're not juggling these multiple half identities like, how should I introduce myself today, right? You know exactly who you are. And the people who respond to you, they are already primed to be your people who want exactly what you sell. So my client has even told me, I used to dread networking calls because I didn't know what to say, right? I sounded scattered. And now I look forward to them because I'm excited to introduce myself. And people are drawn to me much more than they were before. And I'm not confused anymore. So it's really fun now. So no, you don't need to post every day. No, you don't need to join every networking group. No, you don't need to hustle harder. You need one clear message repeated in different ways across different platforms. That's how you save time and actually get traction. And also, by the way, you do need to market. I don't care if you are booked out. I have lost 2/3 of my clients in the same month. And I didn't consistently market, so I didn't have a wait list. And I'm not the only one that this has happened to. I learned my lesson after that. But it happens. And so you might think, well, I have clients. The only security in your business comes from marketing. And how do you make marketing sustainable? The first step to that is to have a clear message, to get your messaging down. So let's do a practical, quick 2-minute exercise. So this exercise is kind of funny because it's really simple. But I want you to take it seriously because it can change everything. It can make such a big difference in your business. And the point is that it's simple because it doesn't have to be complicated. If you think deeply about these simple exercises, then that's going to get you way further than making things super complicated or ignoring things altogether. So here is a simple statement for you. I help ideal client achieve result so that big outcome. The outcome here is the focus. And it's not, I'll save you time. What changes in their life? What changes in their business because of the thing that you help them achieve? That's what people buy into. And this is where specificity matters. Broad generic statements like I save you time, you get to focus on the things you love. These don't land. That's nice. That's a nice to have. Okay, I have more time. That's a nice to have. But the clearer and the deeper you go, the easier it is for someone to recognize themselves in your message. So here are a couple of examples. And let me read you one more time the sentence. I help who? Your ideal client. Achieve what result? So that big outcome. I help online mindset coaches streamline their client onboarding so that they can stop losing clients to disorganization and finally scale with confidence. Another one, I help online service providers reclaim 10 hours a week by setting up back-end systems so that they can spend more time creating serving clients and building revenue instead of putting out fires. I help OBMs package their services into premium offers so that they can stop trading hours for dollars and build a business that makes impact and income that they really want. So each one of these is really specific, it's really focused, and it's really anchored in an outcome. Now again, this might look simple, but I invite you to go deep with this Don't just fill in the blanks and call it a day. Play with it. Talk to your ideal clients. Are you doing market research calls? Like, are you actually chatting with people? And see what language they use. Ask yourself, what does this really mean for my clients? What's the bigger ripple effect of what I do? Because your work has a big effect. And you should be claiming that and stating it with confidence. Your messaging does not have to be complicated. It has to be clear, specific, and rooted in the transformation that matters most to the people that you want to serve. So if you've been avoiding marketing because you don't know what to say, or you're exhausting yourself with marketing that doesn't work, the answer is not doing more, it's getting clearer. Clear messaging outshines more marketing every single time. And this is exactly what we start with when we get to the marketing part inside of Expansion, my one-on-one coaching container. Together, we build your core offer and the messaging, so talking about your work feels natural, exciting, and is magnetic to your ideal clients. So if you are ready to stop spinning your wheels and start attracting the right clients with ease, I would love to support you inside of Expansion. Check out the show notes for the link and DM me Expansion, and we can chat about it if it's right for you. So remember that you don't have to be everywhere. You just have to be clear. That is what I have for you today, and I will see you on the next one.